Hello, testing. This on? Well, we took Tony Carr, obviously. We're pretty excited about him. Oh, you want me to talk into mic? Sorry. I'll start over. We selected Tony Carr tonight. We're pretty excited about it. Um, Young guard, played in the Big Ten. Averaged I think 19 and a half points a game. We like his ability to score. We're going to bring him in hopefully next week, have him in summer league, and he is a 51st pick. We didn't think he was going to drop this far, so we feel lucky to have the opportunity to draft him, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, when did he work out here? Is it someone you scouted previously?
Our guys had, he's been a guy that's been on the radar for us for a while. Bryson Graham, our director of scouting, has really been talking about him even all the way back from the Nike camp last year. And so, we like his size. We like his ability to make plays, his IQ. That he's 6'5", and we're lucky to see. We'll see him in summer league, and we're really looking forward to that.
Talking to him on the phone just now, he compared his game to Drew Holiday. Do you see that kind of versatility? That type of versatility that Drew brings to the guard?
I'll say let's just see what happens.
Do you see a point guard who can play the two?
Well, because of his size, and right now in the NBA, a lot of teams have multiple playmakers. I think his size is the thing that's really appealing to us. He can make shots. He's pretty crafty, and his team played in a tough conference, and he was able to score at an elite level.
Obviously, having the 51st pick, the options are kind of limited. Were there discussions to try to move up in the draft?
Yeah, we had some target guys we were looking at. Nothing came to fruition, and so we're happy where we are. We're happy where the team is right now overall, and I said we looked at some possibilities, but we didn't see anything. Nothing became available for us to move up.
How important is it to have guards with that type of size in today's NBA with all the switching that goes on?
That's what we looked at, and I said he's young, and I said we think he can play multiple positions. He's got a pretty good frame, and I said I don't want to get too excited about it. I want to see what he does when we get him in here live, when he put him in a pro system, see how he reacts with our coaches against competition. And like I said, he's got a big hill to climb. It's not like there's no guarantee that he's on our roster this year, but he might be a guy that we may do different things with. Maybe he's on our roster next year. Maybe he's not. I'm not sure. But I think the most important thing is just not to get ahead of it. Let's see what happens when he comes in here. He's going to have to compete, and we're going to give him every opportunity to be successful.
Envision a plan similar to what you did with Czech, where he developed maybe minutes important for him? Is he a raw player, would you say, or is it different?
I think it's different with Czech. Like I said, I really just want to get him in here next week, get him summer league, really evaluate him with our group, look at our roster, and then I think we'll make decisions then.
Of the players that went undrafted, obviously, are you guys still working the phones right now, trying to find more of these more rookies to bring in to evaluate?
Yeah, our guys are upstairs right now. They're on the phones talking to their agents. I'm sure most teams in the league are doing the same thing. There's a couple guys that went undrafted that people thought were going to get drafted, and they're just trying to see if they can get them in, and we're doing the same.
How big a factor was the fact that you have 2 point guards with free agents?
We really looked at best player available.
As far as summer league, do you anticipate Czech and Frank both being able
Yes, we're anticipating both players playing in summer league. Tony as well, and we got a group of guys coming in. We'll probably have 16 guys come into camp. Probably end up taking 12, 13 to Vegas, and I'm really looking forward to watching the guys compete.
as you enter free agency here? I know we talked about it briefly, but where are your priorities kind of standing at this point, and where's your communication level, I guess? What are you allowed to kind of No, they're still technically anything. But
Yeah, you know, we've been in communication with both the representatives. It's free agency. You know, in a perfect world, we'd like to have both of them back, but it is free agency. And so, you know, at the appropriate time, you know, we'll sit down with them and I said, hopefully we can get those guys back. We want to keep moving forward. Both of those guys were big parts of our success this year. And like I said, you know, July 1 is going to be a busy day for us, and you know, we've already started our preparation. We'll continue that this week. You know, this year is a little different, where the draft, we have so much time between the draft and free agency, and so I think you know, we'll be looking at that. We'll be looking at the trade market. You know, we want to build on what we did last year, and we want to keep moving forward.
What do you think is the biggest difference having that extra time between the draft and free agency?
You know, in years past, sometimes you feel rushed. Like, you know, like you come out of here Thursday, and then, you know, everything starts up Sunday or Monday. Where now you got a little bit of time, you can sit back, you can really analyze everything that happened tonight. There'll be some teams that are, you know, because of the players they acquired, you know, some other guys will be available or not available. And so I think just the time-wise, you know, you can kind of sit back a little bit more and prepare a little bit more.
What's your latest report on DeMarcus's rehab?
It's right on schedule. He's out in Las Vegas right now working out. He's right on schedule. You know, he's right where he's supposed to be. We haven't seen any setbacks. And, you know, he's committed to getting back and ready to play.
you know, do you treat free agency? It's kind of an interesting spot that you're in. That to make another climb, you have to improve so dramatically. You meet the Rockets and the Warriors, but you also want to try to keep that space below you. And Alvin compared it to from shooting 95 to 85, 85 to 75 in golf. I mean, how difficult is that distinction of where you guys are, and how do you climb up while still in?
It's so competitive. You know, there's a lot of good teams, you know, especially not only in our conference, in our division. Everybody wants to win. But, you know, we're going to embrace that challenge. And, you know, we feel good about our core. We feel good about the way we finished, but we're also not satisfied. We also want to take another step. And I think, you know, bringing back, you know, our core guys, the continuity is going to be very important for us. Everybody having corporate knowledge is going to be big for us. But I also like, you know, our group as a whole. You know, I think we have a good group of guys that are also competitive, and just, you know, we've been communications with almost every guy in the off season, and everyone's, you know, saying the same thing. They can't wait for next year to take another step.
Do you feel like you need guys who can fit into the style, or like the way you guys finished is obviously different from the way you started?
Well,
Or
we
is that not?
were playing pretty fast earlier, not as fast as we were at the end, but, you know, we feel like we were playing, you know, we feel like we were always one of the top teams in pace, and you know, our plans to continue to do that.
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about Einar's Bekdaskis? I'm probably butchering his name, but I know he's going to be coaching with you guys in the summer league. Is it just going to be an evaluation process? Can you talk a little bit about him?
You know, many times we bring in guest coaches. Many teams in the NBA do this. We bring guest coaches in for summer league. Is a great way for us to exchange information, learn a little bit about their game. They learn a little about our game. A lot of times, you know, when we're going over there, we're scouting players that they're playing against on a daily basis, and sometimes, you know, we'll watch them on film. They can give us a little more information on players. You know, it's a really healthy relationship to have with foreign coaches, and you know, we've been doing it for years, having coaches come over here. You know, it's also good, like, you know, they run some really good offense and defensive schemes in Europe, and, you know, being able to get a play here, you know, you might get a in-the-game play or out-of-bounds play that can help you during the regular season.
Is there a chance you could replace Jamel McMillan on the staff?
That's not the plan right now. But hey, you know, but like I said, you know, he's a smart guy, and we're excited to have him over.
And how tough was it to lose Jamel? That's a guy you brought in, you know, pretty early in his career.
We're happy for Jamel. It was bittersweet for myself personally because, he came in basically as an entry-level position, and, to watch him grow and to watch the way he responded to players. And, we talked after, Phoenix called, and we both agreed, it was the right time for him, where he's going to get a promotion and get to be on the front of the bench in Phoenix. But you said I have nothing but respect for Jamel. He's a great person that really worked hard. He was a grinder. I said the guy came in. It's interesting. We were talking like when he first came in, he was picking people up from the airport, and the same guys he was picking up, they were asking for advice years later. And so I said it was bittersweet for me to see him depart because he had such an impact with us, and he was a big part of our success this year.
And you talked about having continuity on the roster. How important is to have that same continuity on the coaching staff? That goes into also signing Alvin to the extension not too long ago. How important is all of that?
Yeah, we I thought Alvin did a phenomenal job last year, him and his entire staff. We had many challenges, many obstacles last year, and I felt like we were always prepared. Obviously, we've talked about it before. When DeMarcus went down, we lost, I think, 5 out of 6. But I thought the group was resilient. They found another way. I take my hats off to Alvin and his group. They did a great job, and we're glad to have them back, and we just want to build off of last season.
And part of that continuity also is having continuity in the front office. Do you see yourself staying long term? What do you want to say about what you did?
I prefer not to talk about me. I'm happy to be here. I love being here. I love the city. I love the fans, and it's great for me even walking around now. You see so many people wearing the shirts from the playoffs, and I said I'm thrilled to be here, and I feel lucky. I still pinch myself.
You talk about that again, continuity, going back to that, having the first time you guys in the playoffs, not being able to build on that second time. What have you learned from this process to be able to?
Yeah, it was like the first time, that was very long ago. We didn't have the same team the next year we came back. We went in a different direction. And then a few years ago, it was really sad because we had so many injuries to start that year off, and then we were just in a hole. And injuries are tough in the NBA. No one. It's tough to win when guys aren't healthy. And one of the things that we've really tried to emphasize is prevention and getting guys ready to go. And some of it's luck, but the goal for us is that we feel like we're going to bring back the majority of our group. We feel like we're going to look at every opportunity to add because we know that there's people coming for us, and we know that there's people in front of us that we were trying to catch, and people below us that are trying to catch us. And so we're going to do everything we can to put a really strong roster out there because we know that in the West it's tough. Every night, every game, it's a battle, and everyone can beat everyone in the NBA.
All right, thanks, Dell.
Thank you.